Welcome to Navarero's online showcase video, M.I.A. edition. Today we are back at the smelter. First up, I finally added a little shed over here for my two engines. These are of course to bring the rails up to the coal mine. And for the longest time they have just been standing outside, and yeah, I thought it was about time to change that. The whole area has given me a few problems with how tight and um, hard to move around everything is. But in the end, I managed to do it. We have a switch over here now to get one of the engines on one side of the shed, and the other one is just gonna reverse in here with all the cars, which of course don't have any quarter, but what can you do? I could maybe actually expand this. That might work, and you know what? Since I already mentioned it, let's quickly give it a try. I want to be in flight mode, I want to open up this stuff, and you know what, for the extensions we are going to go without any sidewalls. So let's see. I should still have the same angle, which is why I'm doing this now. And if I'm doing this correctly, this is looking pretty nice and natural. And I would need another one. I don't think that's going to fit, but maybe we can kinda overlap them, get the proper endpoint over here, and then work backwards. Yeah, I may need to turn this around 180 degree. So I don't think every single one will fit. The last one is gonna be slightly out in the rain. But if I do it like this, I mean, this is not looking that bad. I could actually get used to this. But yeah, there are going to be a lot of other cars out there, so I don't care too much about them. But we can try and see if we can actually improve this a little bit further. So let's grab another one. And yeah, I know I'm supposed to be doing something else right now. This is supposed to be about the whole oil thing, but I mean, doesn't hurt having a bit of variety in between. So just like this. And now the question is, does the last one fit? I don't want to go in industries. I want to go here. And the thing is, the track is going a tiny bit wider at the end. But this should be possible. I mean, I could likely also adjust the corners where it doesn't need to be like this. But yeah, it's kind of giving me a few problems, so let's turn the whole thing around again. And let's see from this side. And yeah, that's the part where the track goes a bit wider, so let's see real quick. If I can make this work, if I can make this work with a slightly smaller corner radius. Something like 50 would be alright, and yeah, this is actually likely going to turn into a whole thing now, because from what I've just seen when trying to build this the first time, you cannot really make any connections right now if there is this engine shed on top. It doesn't allow you to snap track inside it, which is absolutely idiotic. I don't know why that's a thing now. But yeah, it's making this entire thing a bit harder. I mean, where does it even end? Somewhere around there. Let's get rid of this. Let's try and extend the track and see if we can make it work with a smaller corner radius. So for that I first need a longer straight. Just like that. And then let's try and see where we would connect with like 50 meters or something. Somewhere around here, just like that. Okay. Now let's get rid of the extension and make it again, but with the correct length now. Try to not snap to that, but actually just make it touch. And yeah, I'm still getting used to having to take this tool from over here instead of from this menu. It was nice when you could reach it from both ones, but now it's just limited to that one thing. And yeah, let's get back the engine shed. Yeah, that's kind of working. I mean, the end of the embankment is always kind of close to that, so I guess that's how it is supposed to look. I'm not entirely sure. It feels a bit goofy with how deep they are in there now. Maybe I'll come back to this later, but I kind of like the idea of extending this. Oh yeah, the last car is still outside. So maybe I could get this train a bit further in on this end. I mean, I wouldn't have a platform then. I don't know. Worth an attempt. Took me 7 minutes, but here we are, and now let's finally get into what we were actually supposed to do here. And for that, first I need to locate the engine. And it's this one here, number 16, extra oil in there. The other one would be the Goldie splier. Oh yeah, the gold supply train is here to get rails. I was wondering for a moment why that one was here at all and what it even was to begin with. But yeah, we are going to take this one over here. Because that's the dedicated oil engine. And yeah, I haven't done a lot of these operations for a while, so we'll have to see about them, how everything goes. Not always entirely sure how it's supposed to work. I just know that it used to work at some point. Oh god, the brakes. This is fine. Let's just hope the wheel isn't going to give me any trouble now that I'm going onto the track. There was something happening there, but I guess it should be fine. Yep, didn't jump off the track. You know what, let's heat this thing up a bit more and let's see that we actually get the get all the switches lined up. Because we actually need to go onto this track, and yeah, that's where we can find our tanker cars. The arts have gotten so much more complicated over time. It's kind of amazing. At some point it really started looking like something. Took me long enough. Okay, how do I get back in here? So brake is loose. Definitely a good idea to just leave it standing like that. So let's roll it down and reconnect the train. Just gonna be gentle with the entire thing. And if everything works out, at least in the next episode, we should also be making use of our 4 climaxes over here. Because those are part of this operation as well, at least once we come back here with our loaded cars. And yeah, sadly somebody took away the little roof vent thing. This is why we can't have nice things. And I immediately almost derailed it because of the cars being frozen in place. And yeah, there are some gaps in between them. I don't want to test all the brakes here. I think we should be fine by just checking the caboose in the end. And yeah, this is a long one. This should be 24 cars overall. Okay, before we get going, let's do the usual procedure. Let's take a look at the map, trying to zoom in and figure out if all the switches align. And I think we want to go on, no, this track right here, bypassing the entire supply area, going down this way, and this one needs to be switched. And then it's gonna be a long way down to the other yard, at which point we can finally use the shortcut to just cut past everything else and go straight towards the oil field itself. Coming down here, we go on this track, then on this one, and I think we need to stay on the topmost side here. Yeah, that's looking alright. And yeah, that's looking all how it should be. So yeah, here goes nothing. Let's pull the lever. See if there's still enough stuff in the boiler, and let's go. I mean, in the firebox. And let's go and check out how this journey is gonna turn out in the end. Yeah, not going through the engine supply area, just gonna pass by the entire thing here. This is the one track that I could theoretically also get rid of, because you can just go through there, it doesn't really matter that much. But at that point you would also go into the freeway switch, and that can be a bit iffy, especially from the other side. So I like just having one where you can just go through if you don't have any business over there. Speaking of a supply area, how are we looking for supplies? Pretty good. I can also see that the caboose is moving along, so we have a full train. Always like to make sure of that we don't just lose something unexpectedly. So let's go into the F menu. And actually see what's what here. I definitely move back the reverser. We are really not under any load here, at least not under any significant. This is the strongest engine in the game after all, and by quite a margin. Still apparently I was maybe a bit too ambitious there. We are going to hit the grade in a moment, and at that point it should all be running on its own. Just the 1% grade, pretty gentle, but Yeah, it's something. And it's a long one. Which is why I'm happy that I have a gentle grade here, not a steep one. Because this would be pain in a lot of trains. Okay, now we're actually going. Also gotta say, if we could actually have cuts and fills in this game, this would be so much better. The track would be pretty straight, it would be on proper ground and not bridges and walls and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think for what the game is doing right now, I've tried making it look as good as it can be. Arguably it might be better to have things a bit more straightened out at points. Especially when you have some spicy kink in there like this one. But can't have everything. If it's too straight, it's gonna be all bridges. If it's too curvy, it's gonna be not that great for actually running the train. So it's all compromises in the end. And I think I might be better off just... Didn't they have the brake it regulator switch at some point? I'm always hitting the wrong thing. Might just be bad muscle memory. But yeah, I would like to not go much faster than 13 miles. That seems to be a bit on the spicy end. And re-railing in this game is a pain, so don't wanna do that unnecessarily. Okay, but now we are slowing way down. "25 miles again, so that's alright. And I can already see parts of a yard, so we are almost where we need to be. Everything is coming along quite nicely. Almost back to 30 miles, so maybe hit the brakes again, just a little bit. We are going to go on a slightly steeper grade in a moment. This is just the main line. But over there we are actually going to cut past the entire lumberyard. So let's quickly give some sort of signal to vacate the area. Because we are coming through here. Maybe hit the brakes a bit more. Also, do you see just how the cars are twitching when going over there? I think that's part of what's causing the occasional derail. Just like that one. Okay, that one is gone. That's cool. See, and that's why I don't play the game that often anymore. Let's hit the brakes. And try to get the car back on. Sometimes I feel like I'm giving the game too much shit, being a bit unfair and all of that. And then this kind of stuff happens and I feel justified again. Also, we're not rolling anymore. Okay, let's go and re-rail that car. Thankfully it's only one, so that should be okay. At least better than if I had the whole thing happen to the entire train. Sometimes this stuff causes a chain reaction, and at that point, whatever you've done, you're most likely going to just reload. Okay, quickly add a link and pin. And then we move everything back together. And the whole thing that just happened there, that's not the new update. That's been in the game for God knows how long. Okay, now we are properly connected. So let's open the brakes again, and then we can go for the next attempt. Hopefully this one will work out a bit better. I mean, we are mostly past that crossover, so we should be fine, hopefully. And yeah. Let's get going. Let's see how this one goes. And let's hope for the best. Everything is moving again, so the rest of the train is in one piece. We can also give it the beans for a little bit, just to get some momentum back up. But yeah, in the end I'll be having to take care of a brake here, for the most part. So I don't want to overdo it. We are going to have to manage this entire thing, because this is going to be a 2% grade all the way down. Did something weird happen there, or did that just look odd? Not entirely sure. But yeah, rolling down at 15 miles is maybe a bit slow. I don't want to go too much faster. And yeah, this is another one of those instances where I wish I could just hug the side of a mountain, but that area there kinda gave me a hard time. Slowly but surely. And when it comes to the engine and all the cars, I mean, it looks good. Can't say much about that. Okay, enough about the acceleration. Let's keep it steady or even slow down a bit. I don't want to have to pick up all the pieces again. Yeah, we are very close to the bottom of the valley now, so Ooh, that's the spicy part of at least this leg of the journey taken care of. We are going to have to get back up there once we are loaded. And yeah, that was one of my big things with the entire playthrough. Loaded tanker cars are pretty much the heaviest cargo that you can have in this game. So I wanted, or at least especially at the time when I did this save, there might be something heavier now. But yeah, I wanted to take full advantage of that and really require people to get in there and do stuff. So, or at least for myself here, I never ended up publishing the save as far as I remember. But yeah, I took care of putting this into a challenging position. So let's pull the train a little bit just to see if everything is still connected. I had the feeling that we might have lost one car in between, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So let's check the rear. We need to get past the switch. Okay, we are pretty much there already. Might as well pull the brakes. I honestly don't really know what this whole stopper thing was all about. I think I might have added this before, if we look at the map right here, before I added the turnaround loop to the upper yard, because for the longest time, to go down here from the smelter and the refinery, you had to go up here into the yard, turn the train around and come down here. And very often I would go into this place and then reverse down here. So this might be where I would end up storing the road engine. So yeah, that's how that went. How do I get back out of here? Okay, let me think for a moment. I think we can just keep the engine here for now. I'm going to disconnect the cars because those can go onto their own thing. And we now, 27 minutes in, need to fire up our helper engines. So let's go and do that. Haven't been here for a while, haven't used those for a while, but here they are. Olivia and Olga, two Heislers. I think I used to have climaxes in here, or I don't know. Where was climaxes? Oh no, those were class 48s. But I wanted something a bit stronger, and I haven't used Heislers anywhere else on the map, so I bought them for this and put the two class 48s into the main yard and later to use at the smelter. That's how that went. Okay, so really they should be warming up a little bit. But I'm going to put them to use straight away once we have all the switches set up. I mean, they should be set up anyways. So let's get going. Where is the brake? Right there. First up, we need to take care of the caboose. That one needs to be out of the way. Also, I'm considering to maybe get rid of the Heislers again. That whole, I don't know if it's the valve or something that's doing the constant pff, 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 but it's driving me kinda insane. Okay, that's maybe a bit quick, but hey, we are just gonna bounce off anyways because, yeah, physics. Okay, so I just disconnected here, so we should be fine. Let's move this forward a little bit. That sounds terrible. Ah, dang it. The way I have to yoink at that stupid brake is kind of obnoxious. Okay, either direction there is fine. I just need to kick this thing really hard. Oh god, I'm going to so derail the whole thing here. Part of the operation has to do with kicking the cars back together, and my god, with the current state of physics, it's gonna be a nightmare. So that might be an issue. Okay, that should be alright. Just go your merry way, doesn't really matter which direction, left or right. It all comes back together afterwards anyways. Okay, now with hopefully sufficiently heated up firebox and boiler pressure fully operational, let's get the first set of cars. So just like this over here. If I can get the right coupler. Okay, we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut the link. Oh yeah, and we also now need to flip the switches here. It's all gonna make sense in a moment. Full forward. And just now need to get it past the switch over here. This would actually be really interesting to do with a friend because we have 2 helper engines. Oh no, that's the wrong switch. I should have not flipped that one. Actually need to go on the map here. Zoom in, you stupid thing. Alright, this one should be it. Very easy to see on the map. And gotta be careful to not be too spicy here. What I also like to do with this engine in particular, I sometimes like to just disconnect the, or just completely turn off the compressor. The percentage doesn't really have seem to do anything for how loud the entire thing is. And yeah, we're just gonna put it into the stopper there. And if I don't need the full brake power, then I'm just gonna cut the compressor, just have a bit of peace and quiet. Flipping a few switches over here, and let's go get the second engine. I mean, I did take care of getting both of them fired up, right? It doesn't really look like it, but yeah, there should be fire. So, there's that stupid valve. Because I would very much like to turn off the brake compressor now. Sender, that one. Nice. I know we can see an awful lot right now, but should be alright in a moment. Lincoln pin is already in there, the switches are flipped, so we are going to get the next 4 cars. And I think I'm going to pull the entire train ahead a bit while I'm at it. Oh. Just so we are properly connected here. Yeah, let's first pull everything ahead and then disconnect the ones that we actually need. I mean, I might as well go to the one that I'm actually gonna be disconnecting. So this is the last one that I need from the batch. So much nicer now that there's no more running back and forth all the time involved here. Okay, that's enough. Brakes are pulled. I hope the thing is going to come to a stop. I might as well run back there and pull a few more brakes on the way. Just like that. I don't know if my microphone is picking that up, but I'm sliding my mouse across the table like a madman. Just for the stupid brake levers. Okay, let's see. I think I need to do this on the map again. And it needs to be this one. And now tap back out, tap back in. Just so I get my control back. And we should be good to go now. And just to be sure, I'll also flip this switch if I... Okay, that should be alright. We are almost at the loading procedure. Trust me, from this point on it should be pretty quick. Okay, just gonna push it all together a bit. And now we should be pretty good here. So what I need to do now is set up the spouts. Just like this over here. I mean, this should be pretty good. I'd be a bit off with how far the cars are apart. I mean, you know what? I mean, do I want to do this for every car? Not really. I'm gonna see if it works out as it is right now. Otherwise, I might need to do more adjustments. But yeah, I'm just gonna move them all over. Open the hand valves. There's a main valve down there, which I'll be using to load all of it. Just gonna get all the spouts just lined up. And then we should be fine. Da, 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 da. And we got it. Alright, now it should be as simple as opening the main valve and everything loading up, but just so I don't end up wasting resources here, I'm just gonna save, just in case. And here we go. One unit in here, one unit in here, one in here, going up to 2. So that's all loading simultaneously, just as I want to. So we now should just look at this one, and once we get to 11, we might need to start thinking about closing the entire thing again. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and if I see the next drop fall, that's it done, and we should be all full here. Yep. Also good test right now if physics are actually applying, if the cars got heavier. So let's see, I'm gonna be moving this one first. Full reverser, full regulator. Okay, we might not be getting the whole weight thing here. That sucks. Can I flip the switch here? No, that's the other one. So I gotta go into the map. And yeah, at this point, I mean, I can also do it manually because I still have to go back here and actually remove the link because we are going to kick the cars onto the other track. And this is where I fear that everything will be derailing, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure about this whole practice right now. Used to work fine, but yeah, once again, stuff got broken with the last update. And yeah, now I can just bring the next one backwards, and we should be good to go. I was actually thinking of possibly extending the part a bit, just the area up front here. Because it would be really handy if I could get 6 cars on this track instead of 4. But yeah, I think that would mean getting all the switches reworked and moved on further in that direction. And I don't know if that's really gonna work or if I'm just setting myself up for failure here. But really being able to get 6 cars at a time instead of 4 would be quite a bit more efficient. And we should have 24 in total, so that should still be working. So we get 6 here, that's 12, meaning that we only have like 2 batches, so yeah. Right now it's 3 batches, and that's still going pretty quick once everything gets going. Okay, I'm just gonna break it here. Remove the pin. Flip the switch. And now we go kicking. And screaming. Most likely because the kicking is going to cause a derailment, and I'm not down for that today. You know what, let's follow the cars, I'm curious about it. Also, that was a bit late, but the whole thing didn't react. They kinda put the drag to do stuff thing again. But it's kind of weird because if you just click, it already changes and it's really not how it was before, so I don't know. I loved the old way. The whole just click to flip the switch is kind of annoying. The dragging had much more like real feedback. Felt much better. Okay, let's see how this goes. I mean, it's just two cars at a time. There's not that much that can happen, but yeah. Might be different if the game was actually handling them as if they were full. Which right now, of course, is not the case because, well, the game kinda sucks in that way right now. But hey, it's not a complete disaster, so there's at least that. And yeah, I might as well try and readjust this a little bit. It's not all perfect, but really they should be all filling up. You're gonna be pretty precise with these. I don't know if anything changed about that. But let's see. Yep, that's oil in there. So yeah, that's all working out pretty well. And yeah, I think you get the gist of it. It's just doing this stuff like 3 times, and then the entire train should be full, I think. 8 cars at a time, 24 in total. Yeah, that should be free. And yeah, I get that without my setup, this would be a total pain to deal with. I once tried getting these things aligned manually and... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, what am I stuck on? Okay, I hope I didn't waste anything, but we are at least full here. I mean, even if... Wouldn't be that much of a problem. So, yeah, okay, I'm gonna open up the compressor again. We need a bit more. And stop at some point. I mean, I can't really complain about the brakes if I constantly turn off the compressor. You're not gonna get the full effect through that. But brakes are pretty weak otherwise anyways. Okay, those have been kicked off, so we can now get the next batch. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these ones lined up. And afterwards kick the other ones that I have loaded. Then I'm gonna save and also end the episode. And between this one and the next one, I'll change the physics settings in order to hopefully get the full weight effect. It's just a little bit cheap otherwise. I might also look into getting the stuff here extended, but once again, with everything else here, I think I would need to kind of rework half a yard in order to make all of that work. But yeah, now we have these cars here 4 of them once again. And yeah, that's just how the entire thing works in the end. I also need to go back there and flip the other switch real quick. Just like that. And I'll make sure to double check the loaded cars to make sure that nothing is derailing there. Just so that I don't accidentally save that and then have to go back and redo everything here. Might as well look at it from the perspective of the last car here. And boop. That's looking all pretty good. I think I have enough about this tinnitus inducing noise, so let's turn that off again. Get the next set out and kick back, and then we should be good on this side as well. You know what, let's quickly check back there. Oh nice, the cars are actually completely together, so I can just add the link in there. The thing is, if I don't do that now, if I save and later load back in, the links are all removed, and yeah, at that point I'll have to first pull everything apart again in order to add a new link and then push it back together, which is just a whole lot of work. I usually try and do this all in one session, but yeah, that is assuming that I get the physics settings that I wanted. Wait, I want to kick them, I'm an idiot. The thing is, if those cars were apart, I could go in there with the engine attached and just push everything together. But this should be fine as it is right now. Also, fun fact, despite not being attached anymore, I can still go over to those cars in the back. We stop the engine, we say goodbye to the engine, and we just look what the cars do. I mean, that's kinda cool. And yeah, from what I reckon, they just run into the back of the rest of the train and completely stop there. Yeah, that's it. So let's quickly connect those together because of the whole linkage saving problem. And I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Again, I'll take care of the physics settings in between this in the next episode, and I may also try getting the other things sorted out, but I don't know. I don't know if I can make enough space here. I mean, there's maybe one for another car already, so it wouldn't be that drastic. Maybe with a freeway switch, that could get it done, because then I can connect directly over here. Yeah, I might have to try that. Freeway switch there should be okay, but we're gonna have to see next episode. It's not gonna change much about this procedure because we've already begun. But hey, for the future, if there is one for this game, or at least for my playthrough, it would be a nice thing to have. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Until then, have a good one, and bye bye.